Hi everyone, I'm Taslimarif Saiyed. I'm trained as a neuroscientist from Germany at Max Planck Institute for Brain Research, and I continued my work in neuroscience to do my postdoctoral work, which led to my interest in neuroregeneration. I work at CCAM as a director and CEO, and I have been around at CCAM for 10 years. CCAM, where we are building a kind of a capability to foster deep science research and innovation in the field of life sciences. So I think as we realized that India was also going to be exposed to this world pandemic that has happened, which initially affected a few geographies, be it in Europe or in US, of course, including China. And at that time, we realized to stop the spread and for the treatment and for the testing, we'll need the tools of products which would be allow us to prevent the spread, which will allow us to test people and which will allow us to treat people. And if you look at the larger geography or larger population of India, it's a very big population, and that would require a lot of things at scale, which possibly were not available because traditionally we have imported a lot of products when we come home. So that time we realized that we need to then look at in our own backyard and identify innovations which are near deployment ready and help them reach to the deployment for COVID. So that's where we launched what we call it as a CCAM COVID-19 Innovation Deployment Accelerator with many partners, which are really phenomenal partners, and built a capability over a month to attract innovations which are near deployment, which are within a month or two, assess them very carefully, work with them and understand what is missing and help them to do that last mile till deployment. So now over last month, we have more than 1,100 innovation submissions which came. 17 are now in the field. So that goes on to say that what we have achieved within a month to do that. And those are new indigenous India-made kits, rapid diagnostic kits on RT-PCR that involves new ventilators and that involves some preventive capabilities as well. So we are very, very excited that such a deployment accelerator could be achieved within a month. That's where the idea would be that at CCAM, we are first of all, absolutely blessed to have phenomenal scientists who can straddle between science and product innovation at one go. And they actually they have been trained to understand scientific capabilities as well as product capabilities. First we do the, hand-holding and supporting, and then they go to the next level of what you would call it as a final approval from the Indian regulatory body. I think the key was that to understand that, I think one of the important things is that many a times we realize that we do it at our own speed. A lot of innovations are built at our own speed, but when you are given a task of such nature that we all have faced, when there is a call for innovations and products across the world, I think this is where suddenly even an early stage ideas or even an early stage product can be faster, can be fast tracked into a product if based on where they are. As you know, a lot of people have built ventilator from scratch. A lot of people have actually begun to build the diagnostic RT-PCR kit within a couple of months, and hopefully we will have vaccine also within a few months. So this shows that when there is an urgency, the system actually supports innovation that way, that it can be accelerated. It's phenomenal. I think what we are seeing, and I'm on the first hand, I'm saying this is amazing to see that the startup ecosystem or the innovation ecosystem in India has actually taken this pandemic head on in terms of taking the, believing in themselves and building products, knocking the doors of regulatory bodies, knocking the doors of funding agencies, knocking the doors of testing agencies, and say, this is what we are building. Can you support? We'll have product in the market. It has been a phenomenal, I would say that a surge in terms of the way the ecosystem has responded. I think it's a story by itself. I think Indian ecosystem has a humongous opportunity to go global in terms of digital health because digital health in general, we have all the nuts and bolts of the entire digital ecosystem. in terms of digital health. If you need data, we have data. If you need people to make sure that it's there, it is there. We have small gadgets which enable us to ensure the digital health, it is there. So in such times when such products come out, like remote vital monitoring capability, we have 4 to 5 what you would say as the startups which have now remote vital monitoring, where you can, in ICU or in hospital setting, all vitals of the patients can be done remotely, so the healthcare worker is not exposed to the patient. Similarly, we have now a cuff based or a CT scan based AI startups which are building a pre-screening mechanism. Again, the data has to become more available to do that. So it's a humongous opportunity, and once it is developed here, it can go global easily.